Power Panda with episode 5 of Divergent Paths. When we last left off, we had just encountered two glitches. The first was that Mog's sprite was glitched out. The second is that when we were using the bracers and only had one item that was compatible with the bracers, only one weapon, it was removing that item and not adding it back to the inventory. For Mog, I've tried something that I think might work. The details, I'm not going to get into it right now. I still don't know if that glitch is particularly fixed, but I'm hoping this will do it finally. For the bracers, I actually rewrote the entire optimized routine to account for weapons that were compatible with dual wielding and those that weren't. And there was a code jump in there that was incorrect. So I have a fail-safe built in that says if you don't have any weapons compatible the with the bracers, then just equip one weapon and one shield as normal. And I jumped to that from two places. You can either discover that you don't have compatible weapons on the first weapon or on the second weapon. And on the second weapon, when I was saying, okay, just ignore this and go equip a normal weapon and a shield, that was causing the first weapon to be wiped out, just removed from your inventory. So I fixed it so that now if that happens, you'll just get a shield plus your first weapon and you'll be good to go. Now, looking here, we are about to go on the scenarios. And the scenarios look a little different. We've got Terra and Bannon on one, Locke on another, Edgar and Sabin on a third. You can do these in any order, but there really is one preferred order, which is Edgar and Sabin, Locke, Terra and Bannon. The reason being that Edgar and Sabin have access to a nice shop in Nikea at the end. Locke can happen at any time, but Terra and Bannon will be on the Veldt, so any monsters that we encounter will show up on the Veldt so Gao can learn them. Well, let's start with Edgar and Sabin. What fate has befallen Sabin and Edgar, who fell from the raft after the fight with Ultros? So we start off on a different part of the map. I'm going to right away equip a Moogle Charm and just kind of show you around the map a little bit. So if you can see the red dot on the bottom, we're significantly further south than when we originally were. In fact, we're right outside the entrance to Barren Falls. The area that I'm walking through right now used to be the Phantom Forest. That has been moved. Now, clever gamer, try to go to Barren Falls and sequence break, and you can't, because the merchant is sitting right there. This merchant has two purposes. The main thing is to block your progress so that you can't bring Edgar and Sabin to the Veldt. The second is that Edgar and Sabin are the one scenario where you don't have a healer on your team, so you can buy potions, and I'm going to buy a few of them right now. And eye drops if you need them, high potions, Phoenix Down, sleeping bags, Noise Blaster, and Bio Blaster. So we're going to go up to this patch of sand, or this light-colored ground, and I'm going to try to equip the bracers to Sabin just to show that this bug has been fixed. He still doesn't have a second weapon though, so it doesn't do him any good. So we're going to give him True Knight. He and Edgar will protect each other because they both have True Knight, and Fairy Ring. Anything better than goggles? Not quite yet. We'll get some stuff within the camp though. Imperial Camp. You're able to walk around up top. As soon as you go between these, we start off. Impossible. Imperial forces are here too? Come on, we can take them. Hush! Did you train every muscle except the one between your ears? If you're so smart, then what do we do? If the Empire's attacking in South Figaro and Doma at the same time, it means they're finally making their move. We're too late for Doma. We need to find out whatever we can, then make for Narsh to warn them. Okay, we do it your way. I really wanted to get some of the brothers bickering in here, just as two brothers would. Hey, have you heard? Oh, you mean... Shh, quiet down. If Kefka catches us, we're toast. If he drives our general out of our battalion, he'll become the next general. He'll probably become the next general. Don't make me laugh. If someone like him becomes a general, I'll go home. Shh! What if he hears you? You'll be jailed. Alright, alright. Uh-oh, here he comes. Back to the waiting zone. Hey you! You keeping a sharp lookout? Yes sir, you're Kefka, correct? How are you, sir? Please, save your petty small talk. Just do your job. Phew! Someone's gotta put that guy away. I'd like to tell him to his face that I won't take orders from him. Shh! Do I always have to tell you to keep it down? You're hopeless. I hate that weirdo Kefka. I don't think he's human. Not like our general. Agreed. A couple of lines rewritten there to remove General Leo's name, because we have not named him as a character yet. You two, we're about to storm Dorma Castle. You will join the assault team. Attack! I always love this attack animation. What are some of those guys even trying to do? It's hopeless. We can't keep him out. So it's finally happening. A moment, sir. Allow me the honor. Faithful retainer to his family's liege, with the courage and strength of 100 men. Cyan. If we can fell their commander, they'll surely give up. Let us give it a try. Sir Cyan, let their commander have it. Now you can actually go challenge all of these soldiers to a duel and talk to these sentries, but to speed things along, we're just going to fight this guy, the leader. A couple things to note about Cyan. Bushido has changed. Instead of waiting for a long time for the Bushido meter to build up, it's now a game of catch the bar. You can see how fast it goes. Also, retort does not clear at the end of your turn. So retort will be set until someone physically attacks Cyan, and then he will counterattack for massive damage. General's been defeated! Run! Walled up in there, we can wait out our enemy. Okay, this scene that just took place was a very complicated scene. When it came back, we were in control of Sabin at the beginning. In the original game, it didn't know if you had Shadow in your party or not, so it went through an extra complicated code check. And, oh no, Kick It is getting us to do a battle. Oops. No, a sentry! So if you had optionally recruited Shadow in Sabin's scenario, then Shadow would show at the front of your party just because of the order that the code was done. By having Edgar in the party and knowing that he's going to be in the party, it freed up a lot of event space in the Doma camp so that I was able to do all of the changes that I wanted to. Bioblaster. Oh, these guys are stronger than I remember. And that guy is just gonna chill. We can walk right next to him and he won't notice us. We go in here. That's right, I think this is the tent with nothing in it. Gonna heal using a couple potions. Potions again now restore 100 HP instead of 50. And let's get to the story sequence. Oh, it's him, General Leo. General, the citizens of Doma seem to be playing a waiting game. So that's their strategy. We're ready to take the castle. Just give the order. Patience. If we attack now, we'll have to sacrifice too many lives. But, sir, I'm ready to lay my life down at any time for the Empire. You're Piet from Miranda, right? Yes, sir. Why? And your family lives there. Fall in battle and I'll have to deliver the bad news. What shall I say to them? You have a life to go back to someday. Don't throw it all away for nothing. Emperor Gastal wouldn't want that. Yes, sir. And now, we get to name Leo, an honorable general who treats his soldiers as family, the perfect soldier but blind to the evils around him. Now, Leo is a character that you get to name up front, even though you don't get him until the end of the World of Balance. I had to give a name as soon as possible, right here in this scenario, so that when he's talked about later on in the game, it'll take whatever custom name you have. There's only 3 characters in the game who are named before you get to the naming screen, which is actually 2. Umaro and Mog have names, and then you can rename them when you recruit them. General Leo! A carrier pigeon from Emperor Gastal. What? The Emperor summons me. I must return immediately. I understand, sir. Right, I'll leave Doma in your hands. Yes, sir. Okay, just don't jump the gun, please. Sir, leave it to us, sir. Right. So that's General Leo. He could be my friend if he weren't my enemy. He's a good man. I kept Figaro neutral until I could tell if the Empire was swaying towards Leo or Kefka. I wonder if he knows the balance has shifted. So the way that I characterize the Empire in this hack, because I'm exploring Leo and I'm exploring Celis a little bit more, how could someone like Leo end up working for the Empire and doing their bidding? And how could Edgar be neutral as far as allying with the Empire? And I came upon a solution that the Empire, up until this game starts, is not necessarily the bad guy. They're a big force, they're something that people are scared of, but it isn't until Kefka starts taking an active role that they take the shift from being just a political power to being the bad guy. And not every character in the game realizes that that shift has taken place, including Leo. Now that Leo's gone, I'll turn this water into a flowing river of poison. The Emperor has ordered me to return home. I don't want any trouble here. You loser. I'll take care of this situation in no time. Don't be pompous, and don't forget that they are people, just like you and me. We need not spare those lands that gave rise to the returners. You just go and be a good little boy. Is the poison ready? But General Leo said, he's no longer here. I'm in charge now. Pour it. Some of our people are prisoners inside the castle. If we poison the river, do it. Take them all out. That's inhuman. Agreed. Time to do things your way. Sabin's way being punch your way through. Huh? Silence. Your history, Baba. Fun note, when you encounter Kefka, he has both a battle graphic and a sprite graphic. When you encounter him in sprite form, he has been added to your party. He's added to character slot F, or character slot 16. I had a lot of problems with this when I was originally doing this hack, because Kefka comes equipped with a mithril flail and with a ribbon. And since I'm now using slot 15, when you did the unequip routine with the airship, Kefka was getting unequipped, and I kept getting mithril flails and ribbons, and I couldn't figure out where they were coming from until I figured out, oh, it's unequipping Kefka. I was able to get that fixed. Yeah, so this tent back here, you can actually reach it. I put a tent inside the tent, tentception. You also notice with these chests, I was able to get 2 relics, the barrier ring and the cover ring. Cover Ring used to be known as Mithril Glove, and I believe Barrier Ring used to be known as Wall Ring. I renamed those to be a little bit more intuitive for what they did. We are actually going to give Cover Ring to... well, no. Sabin needs the Fairy Ring for one more battle. And this used to be a monster in a box. It used to be the Telstar monster, but then I found it really odd that the Telstar was actually sitting right here as a sprite. So I added an event. Hey, new tech. I might be able to use it for a tool. So how does Edgar get his new tools? I theorize that perhaps they were Magitech that he repurposed to be used. Okay. Who's he gonna do Orable on? On himself. Wonderful. I'm hoping all of you have seen the video of Sabin suplexing himself. It's an internet classic. Hoping we can get Edgar to survive one more turn so I can use a high potion on him. Which yeah, that makes Sabin Berserk, which is fine. We're just about done with this battle. And this should be it. Oh no, a little bit more health. But we might have to use a Phoenix Down on Sabin. Good thing Edgar has that True Knight. But it's going to be more important for him to use the Bioblaster. Take out those soldiers. Telstar always was one of the hardest monsters in a box. Got Flash. So, you don't get Auto Crossbow, but you do get Flash right away. Let's heal up. And from here on out, it should be pretty easy sailing. Wait! Haha, what a toad! So yeah, really trying to think about the Empire as a different entity, and not just the big bad, because there's something in it that's causing people to want to follow it and be enthused about it. I was glad I was able to explore that. The other thing you notice is when Leo was talking to the soldier, his name was Piet. That is taken from Chrono Trigger. In Beckler's tent, there are 3 soldiers, Biggs, Wedge, and Piet. And Piet is taken from Star Wars. It's Admiral Piet. Oh, let's do the Flash. We just got it. So when it came time for a 3rd soldier that I needed for storyline purposes, because Piet will be showing up again, that was the perfect name to choose. Thanks to Fast Moon for pointing that out for me. Hehe, nothing can beat the music of hundreds of voices screaming in unison. Wahaha! Sir Cyan! The Empire's base is bustling with activity. Something must be up. The water looks odd. Sir Cyan, this is poison. What low-down contemptible. Guard our liege. To the king, on the double. Right, king's room is near. Your Highness, fear not. Who's there? Cyan, Excellency. Indeed, my sight is going fast. Can't see a thing. Excellency, hang on. Cyan, you've defended the realm since my father's days. Thank you. It's over. Our kingdom is through. Not yet, Highness. I fear for your family. Chest is on fire. Save your strength, don't talk. Go. Run to your family. Highness! So, Cyan! There have to be some survivors in the castle. Let's split up! So you can actually go straight to Cyan's room, but if you wander around the castle a little bit, there are other things to see. There's this guy, who wasn't poisoned. There's a room where it's so bad they won't even show it to you. Here, too. Or actually, it's just an inn and they don't want you to be able to heal at this point. Remedy in there. You can go outside, but we're going to advance the plot. Elaine! Elaine, wake up! This can't be happening. Owen, not you too. Son, you can't both leave me. Dear me. Impossible. Idiotic. We can't forgive this. The Empire must pay. When Cyan comes in here, I am Cyan, retainer to the King Doma. The enemy! Get ready, everyone! When Cyan comes in here, we actually loaded to a different map. This isn't the base camp that we were in. It's not even a copy of the base camp that we were in. It is a brand new map to accommodate the Magitech armor that we're getting into. Also, Cyan, when we fight alongside him, I thought when I was hacking this game that Cyan was fighting at this point like he was in the Colosseum. That it was choosing random commands based on what was allowed. That's not the case. When a character is fighting alongside your party like this, they're fighting as a monster. So there's a monster in the game whose only purpose is to be a battle script for Cyan. Now, there's a couple advantages to that. First off, Cyan gets his HP restored after every battle. Second, this is one of the few points in the game where Edgar and Sabin, they can fall. They can be wounded, and you can get to this point and have a party full of wounded characters. This is the only point in the game where you can do that without crashing the game, because every time you get into a battle, Cyan will have full health, and his script is kind of assured that you're going to win. Okay, we'll use Flash, because right after this is the last time we'll be able to use tools without them breaking. Cadet and Soldier. Originally in the game, there are two random enemies known as the Cadet and the Grunt. No, the Templar and the Soldier. And then two boss enemies known as the Grunt and the cadet. They were virtually identical copies of each other. The only reason that they were different is because if you encounter them here, they'll show up in the belt, and Cyan will show up alongside them, fighting alongside your party. I was able to work the game so that I could combine them down into one monster each, the cadet and the soldier, because I needed some for future stuff that's coming in this hack. Thank you, kind sirs. Allow me to thank you. I'm Sabin from Figaro, and this is my brother, Edgar. Now let's scram. But what of my home, my family, my friends? Look, if we stick around any longer, we'll have a regiment of troops down our throats. Got him! Over here! Oh boy! I have a great idea. Come over here. So is this your way or my way? It's our way. Our way. Right. I'll go find a third suit. Sir Edgar, what on earth are these? I'll explain later. Relax, just climb in. Sir Edgar, how might these abominations be manipulated? Made so much more sense for Edgar to be the one that gave the technical lowdown to Cyan. Just stop and listen. Thou art such a pain in the... Confound it all. I'm starting to talk like you. Now listen, just use those levers located by your hands. Sir Edgar, it is I who is in your tent. Forget it. Now come on. Hey, what are you doing? We can't stop now. Then let's just burst through. Okay, yep, so we can't go in here. There's nothing in the tents. We couldn't trigger the Telstar even if we wanted to, because it's a different map. This is also the last time that you are going to be able to see Magitech in the game. There was a place later on in Cyan's dream where you were able to use Magitech again. Cyan's dream has gotten a rewrite. It is now his recruitment scenario in the world of Rune. You'll see why when we get there. And as a result, you were able to bring 4 characters along. Now, Magitech armor doesn't work when there's 4 characters. It will graphically glitch out. You can have a max of 3 people in your team. Reason being is that the palette that the game uses for the 4th suit, it borrows the palette from other monsters within the game. So, the only way to be safe is to have 3 characters using Magitech armor. Now, on this last battle, we're going to play it a little safe. We're going to destroy 1. Use heal force on everybody. Cyan's gonna heal up. And hopefully Sabin will launch that. Oh no, he got a metal kick in. Oh, but he missed. Can't believe we've made it this far. Say, how do we get to Narsh from here? Narsh, eh? Only one route through the forest to the north. Alright, it's decided. Let's get going. At this point, we are going to equip a Moogle Charm to Cyan. Also just a ranger item, so those make a little more sense. And I'm going to show you around. First, I'm going to go... Tools are now breakable after the end of that sequence. So, I'm going to buy 1 more of each tool that I can. I'm also going to get us back up to 20 potions. And buy 1 more sleeping bag. The rest, we should be good to go. Now the world map is the last thing I'm going to show you before we sign out for the night. So military camp was right here. Doma is where it was always. Up here, right on this narrow part of land, this used to come down, one of these two came down as a river and connected to this river. There was a bridge. This bridge is where the military camp originally was. But if you look here, I have extended the river on the world map so that it goes all the way from the Returner's hideout down to the Veldt. And right here is the Phantom Forest. So Phantom Forest is what we will be exploring next time. As always, thanks for watching. We'll save over all these because we're starting a new save file, and we'll pick it up from here. Thanks. Bye.